This is a reading of Brenda's blog titled, Fear No Longer Dominates. Dear ones, there is no longer a need for fear, at least fears that last weeks, months, or years. You are a new being in a new world. At the same time, you need to address those fears that still seem to pop up daily, whether minor or life-threatening, for you are in the process of creating new ways of addressing fear. Your 3D fears were the accumulation of your fears in this life and past lives. So most often, a possible fear became reality as you consciously or subconsciously worried about past occurrences. Now that you transitioned, your fears are more like clouds in the sky, here one day, but not the next. This shift confuses you, for you wonder if you should worry or if you're creating a fairy tale that will come crashing down because you're not prepared for the worst as you are in 3D, day in and day out. There is no longer a need to fear your fears, or to allow time to process most fears because they are now fleeting. Fear now carries as little weight as 3D love once did. In 3D, everyone looked for love, especially romantic love. Movies, books, and community interactions evolved around finding and maintaining love, as if love were an elusive and precious something that must be grasped before it faded or disappeared. Fear was always an essential part of your 3D life, despite the belief in and need for romantic, parental, or community love. Perhaps you fell in love and wondered how long it would last, or you were part of a family that did not or could not display the love you needed, or your friends were not as loving as you hoped. So even though you may have discovered love, that love was often colored with fear and trepidation. The reverse is now happening, but perhaps not as rapidly as you would like because you have been love-starved for 3D eons. At the same time, your fears are shifting from preeminence to becoming a small part of your emotional repertoire. You are just beginning to understand this new language of love, a language that will dominate your life forevermore. Your new love language gives little credence to what terrible things could or should happen. Instead, it focuses on the positive elements of your being. This is sometimes a difficult piece to process, for even though you are used to being afraid, you are not that comfortable loving your life and knowing that it will only improve. Of course, your media has not yet tapped into a world beyond 3D, for media follows advertising dollars. So while you are seeing and hearing negative, fear-producing media pieces, your inner being is becoming more blasé about fear than ever before while of the earth. Your media no longer speaks to or for you. Granted, some continue to accept and even demand a fearful life. They are the earthlings following the dictates of the latest broadcast. You are no longer in that fear arena, as is true for millions of beings now of Earth. Instead of being enmeshed in that fear-based milieu, you surprise yourself with your calm demeanor. At least, calm after you try to frighten yourself with little success. Even though there might be some anger or surprises, the fears of yesterday no longer seem that important. That is not to say you should not be frightened, but instead that you are having less and less success scaring yourself. Your life has evolved beyond yesterday's fears. You are increasingly awakening to a feeling that all is right in your world despite something that would have once created fear. And unlike your former 3D life, in which you most often thought that maybe your life would be okay if this happened, but because of the overriding fears tinting your thoughts and actions, this never happened. You are a new being in a new world, a world that reduces fears to manageable, short-term segments, Love has become the dominant theme. You no longer need to fear the future or anything that happens unexpectedly, or that you will not have a loving life. Nor do you need to fear that even though others might have a wonderful life, you have so much bad luck you believe your love and laughter expectations need to be minimized. Your 3D fear life is over. You are new, and so is the earth. You are now thoroughly enmeshed in a new world of love. And you are not alone. You and your earthly cohorts dominate this new world. Expect love and joy. And know that fear is now a shadow you sometimes address, but no longer dominates your life. So be it. Amen.